Hey everyone, it's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, and today we're looking at Ed Brinkman, this 1963 Topps, a shortstop with the Washington Senators. You can see the bottom's got some of the customary chipping along the bottom, but nice centering side to side, and just a little bit of snow on the sleeves there. But yeah, Eddie Brinkman, shortstop, had a long career. This is his rookie card, 1963. And his last card is the 1975 Topps card. So Eddie had a long career, and but he's really connected to another guy in such an interesting way. Uh, Somebody else in this 63 set has a top-notch rookie card. It's a floating heads, and him and Eddie Brinkman are linked going all the way back to high school. And I don't have the 63 rookie card of this guy, Pete Rose, but I'm just going to lay that there so we can look at that nice 68 game card. I love those game cards. So let's get on with the story about Eddie Brinkman. It's really interesting that him and Pete Rose went to the same high school, Western Hills in Cincinnati, and they were teammates on the high school baseball team. And there's a quote, which I just find this so funny. The coach, Paul Pappy Knorr, the baseball coach at Western Hills, described Rose, talking about Pete Rose. So the high school coach said about Pete Rose, he's a good ball player, but he's not a Brinkman. Eddie Brinkman was a fabulous high school baseball player. Hit 460, won 15 games as a pitcher, threw a perfect game. He was just scouted by everybody because they thought that Brinkman was going to be the future star, not Pete Rose. And he was also a pretty good high school basketball player, too. And Eddie Brinkman was heavily scouted by 17 major league clubs. And he signed with the Washington Senators in May of 61. Eddie Brinkman, he received a large signing bonus of $75,000 from the Senators. Wow. Brinkman used to always later say that Pete Rose had always kidded Eddie that when he went to cash his bonus check, it had to come in an armored truck because of the dollar amount. And Pete said he was able to cash his check at the corner store because Pete Rose signed for much less than Eddie Brinkman. But that's really where things like kind of separated because although Ed was a really good defensive player, he was just not a very good hitter at all. As a matter of fact, his best average of his first 8 years, best, was the 1966 season when he hit 229. Yikes. He was a good defender, but man, he just had no bat whatsoever. He got traded to the Detroit Tigers in 1971, played for the Tigers from 71 to 74. In 1972, he played in every game, and he won a Gold Glove for the Tigers. And he was named a Tiger of the Year in Detroit. And they made the playoffs that year, but then he hurt his back, and he was not able to play in any of the Tiger playoff games in 72. And he stayed with them again until 74. Then in 1975, his last year, he was with the Cardinals and the Rangers and the Yankees. And then he retired, after a long career. He was released. I think he played 44 games for the Yankees. His back continued to give him all kinds of problems. And then he played his final game September 28th of 1975. And that was it for his career. Also, for Eddie, it's interesting. He holds a record for the American League. Not a good record, kind of a dubious record in the American League for having the fewest hits with playing a minimum of 150 games. So he had to play a lot of games, a minimum of 150. But he holds the record for the fewest hits, and that is 82 in 1965. But Eddie was a great fielder, but had no stick whatsoever. But hey, he hung around for a long time. And us set collectors, he had a card every year from 63 to 75. So if you're a set collector in the 60s through the mid 70s, you know the name Eddie Brinkman. But it's just quite amazing that him and Pete Rose in high school, the coach, everybody thought that Brinkman was going to be the star and not Pete Rose. And, of course, here's a nice 81 Pete Rose. And we all know that Pete became the baseball all-time hitter. And Eddie Brinkman became known for futility for hitting. But you know what? He had a long career. And that's important. And I just wanted to show a couple of Pete Rose cards here. And yeah, Eddie Brinkman and Pete Rose, high school buddies, high school teammates. One was supposed to be the main guy, and Pete, of course, became the all-time hit leader. Should be in the Hall of Fame here in the next couple of years. And I, for one, I was not a Reds fan, but I always appreciate watching Pete Rose play. And I remember baseball really from about 72 on, so I saw Pete Rose throughout all the 70s. The Big Red Machine days, I was like a junior high kid. So I remember Pete Rose really, really well, and always appreciate him. But yeah, it's just an interesting story on Eddie Brinkman. And I like to bring in these guys like Pete Rose, these players like Brinkman that are connected to somebody else and show their cards as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I found it to be a real interesting story about Ed Brinkman and how he was to be the guy and not Pete Rose. But guys, enjoy the hobby. Keep on collecting. To me, this is what it's really all about. I enjoy collecting cards, and not really not too worried about the dollar value on a card like an Ed Brinkman. So enjoy the hobby, guys. Keep on collecting. We'll talk later.